Welcome everyone to RGN here for the Winter Classic 2, Splyce versus WOOSAH. I am so excited to see how this goes down. Last we saw WOOSAH able to take down Leader 1, Odaris doing big things. Excited to see him again, and got a bigger challenge this time around. Splyce starting CT side on Cobble.
Davey picking up
and
the
Hano's with
dualies.
me,
Thanks
by
for
the way.
introducing me. But look at Davey with the dualies and drop. That's a lot of bullets. It's 30 bullets for drop though, so big advantage for him.
Arya getting aggressive out middle. Spot some players towards the stair set. Didn't recognize that Win was still watching the angle he was peeking from though. And takes a little bit of damage. Definitely wanted that frag though if you're Win, but nonetheless. Looks like WOOSAH is setting up for a bit of a B take here. We got a couple smokes to work with. One's going to be headed towards a drop down area. Interesting. I don't know. I'm going to ask you that question in a second, Hano. If that's a smoke that they meant to... I guess it covers the rock so they can get in front of it. I don't really know. As we got a 3-on-3. Frags going either way. Jacob getting that bomb down. But 2-on-2 here post-plant. Odaris in check trying to salvage the round or complete it here. Abe coming around from rectangle. Does take down Odaris. Now it's only check to try and clutch. Abe does not have a kit here. Will find the frag. I think he's got enough time to pull off that defuse. So WOOSAH try to make it work with the smoke execute, but will fall victim to Splyce.
I think it was a missed smoke. You should throw that a little bit more towards sidewalk instead, and it'll cover a little bit more area. But I think you're right that the idea behind it was that if somebody does hit rock, get picked off one by one with those USPs. But using the smokes to their advantage, cutting off those long distance fights, getting into the bomb site. But WOOSAH will likely just save completely here, so they can buy on the third round and be able to pick up AK. So the decision really is for the CTs. Do they pick up rifles here, or do they pick up SMGs to farm? They're going to pick up 2 swag 7s and then 3 rifles. So they're planning for those AKs to come up the next round.
So just to let you guys know, again, this is Splyce's map choice. So T-side start for WOOSAH was their decision. Cash is WOOSAH's map choice, and then Dust 2 as our third map. Davey dumping the nade down a broken wall hallway, and that worked out pretty darn good. If you're asking me, as considering how nades can generally work in this game, sometimes it lands on a player and does nothing. That is fantastic. And now Davey should have a heyday here with his mag, and well, Professor Chaos, similar situation for him. So a bit of money added to the bank account, not a single frag coming out, but WOOSAH now in the buy.
I think that's perfectly fine for WOOSAH. They just wanted to get the plant down. They didn't invest too much money in doing so. So them not getting the plant, it was just like an added bonus if they do. But Davey and Professor Chaos both have those mags. So in drop, a little bit something interesting is that drop, if you're a T-side player and you fall out of drop, don't jump off of drop. Just fall off of drop, and your gun's going to be 100% accurate. So if you want to go into a pug or matchmaking, you just fall off and shoot people in the air, that's the place to do it.
So... moving into this third round here. See check working towards drop down. Yay. On broken wall and trying to spam through the smoke a little bit here. See if we can find anything. Davey is still hanging out. They're keeping those mag 7s in play, so see how that plays out. It's Jason R left in middle after he loses Arya. Jacob is close. Jason R can't get the job done though. 2 frags for Jacob. That's really going to open up this A side, but the bomb's still down near drop.
Abe needs to come up with a huge play. He needs to get aggressive somewhere. It's a 3v5 situation. The CTs need to look for either information or frags. So with Abe just sitting here, it doesn't help out his team. If he gets taken down, they're going to have the full A bomb site. They're going to swing that bomb across. Check. Gets spotted out towards mid. Abe doesn't quite connect, though.
And Abe does take down Win. Going to make it over towards A. Professor Chaos, though, finding an AK inside a drop. That's Yay falling. But a smoke will be deployed towards connector. Davey is going to be heading toward... Okay, I guess this is just a save situation. Davey going to keep his mag 7 in play, heading towards T-spawn. So, yeah, looks like they will give up the round here. And WOOSAH, courtesy of Jacob, just opening up, taking down Arya, follows it up when Jason R tries to refrag, and he couldn't get it done with the FAMAS. So, well... I like this positioning from Davey, to be fair. He finds a spot to save in. They decide to exit this way. Should be able to find something for himself. Professor Chaos, he's just going to be peeking, trying to give information to Davey.
I think that it's just way too hard for Davey and Professor Chaos to come through the tight choke point that's on Cobble. So when you try to retake A from B, it's just the 2 spots, right? You have heaven, you have doors, and that's pretty much it. There's the flanks are just way too long to come around on anybody. So if the T-side players are able to take A quickly, this is why you'll see so many CT players, if it's a 4-1 setup, that one player playing an A plays so aggressive so that if he does die, it gives the CTs time enough to rotate over. Because if you lose A bomb site and they start smoking the heavens, smoking the doors off, it's almost impossible to retake.
So, one thing that they were discussing before we came live into things, the reason we were a little bit delayed check is having some ping issues. Arya as well. Apparently they're both on Time Warner, so I'm just going to throw Time Warner under the bus. They're both sitting at 100 ping right now. So, not having a good time. Arya said he called them over and they're going to be over on Sunday for him to give them a piece of his mind. So, hopefully that goes well. As WOOSAH still have a bit of an equipment advantage. Davey with the mag, but he has been doing big things recently with said weaponry. It's going to be Jason R. Two frags in middle from the stairs. And that's an excellent way to start the round. He's able to get out of there safely as well. So WOOSAH, not a good situation if they pick up a round and drop the win thereafter. They do have a lot of time to play with. Let's see Odaris creeping up towards long A. Yeah, Arya's going to be close at the fence. Odaris tears his head off, though. That's the kind of opener they're looking for. Will it pull anybody off of this B site, though? I'm uncertain, as the bomb is still in that real estate.
Look at that shot from Odaris taking down that player in A, the bomb site, but Abe gets a trade onto him. Nice shot from Abe. That was definitely a duel that needed to go in Abe's favor, and it did. Professor Chaos is sitting towards connector now with the op. But look at the B control. Davies flanking behind them.
So, they make it into B. But yeah, Davey coming up on the flank. To be fair, with a Mag 7, wants to wait for a close range angle, but he's gifted it as Check expects that that location is clear. Sprints to that real estate, but Davey taking down both of them, picking up that AK after finding the success with his Mag 7 and Splyce. Big round for them to pick up. 3-1 here. Again, this is their map choice, so good news for them. And the fact that Davey, for one, didn't have to upgrade at all. He kept the mag. He's actually going to gift his AK over to another player and keep that mag in play. So, if he could be successful with that kind of technique, to be honest with you, he'll be the bank of Splyce for the entire first half.
Absolutely, and I think that it's a good round to have it too, because we have WOOSAH who's on an eco. But I would really like to see WOOSAH actually have some sort of a smoke strat. So typically if you're playing it's a CT setup who uses an op, you just want to smoke off B, use that kind of that wall smoke, the wall smokes, and then throw some flashes over the top as well. But look at this the fast strat. Win takes down one, but he there quickly takes down two of his own.
So one frag onto Jason R, 250 damage with nades. Can't go wrong with that.
That is a lot of nade damage.
Yeah, that is extraordinary.
Do you think Davey keeps this? He does.
Davey, you madman. Yeah, he is going to keep the Mag 7 in play. And to be fair, this is one of the maps where you can make an argument that you can use it, for one, in multiple locations, and it's still viable. It's not like it's more, like you could work it towards drop, you could work it towards broken wall, you could even play in the stair set towards middle A. There's a lot of options, and, well, we'll see how many exercises. For now, he's just been playing at the end of the broken wall, and if you're WOOSAH, if you're pushing if you're trying to do anything quickly, that's definitely going to deter you, but we'll see how they decide to work against it. At the moment, Arya getting a boost up onto the platform.
I like this from WOOSAH is that with this new time, you have a little bit of extra time to go into a default, and after you get that default and you get that nice structure down so they don't push you towards mid, but yeah, gets a kill through the wall into Arya. That's the first one. I think that was actually through the box.
Yeah, he does. You just called him yeah, but that's okay. Yay! He does come up with the frag.
I hate you so much for saying that.
Davey playing underneath the broken wall. He gets shot out of the air. Odaris. All right, this is what we're looking to see as, again, catches him on the jumper. Abe close underneath the broken wall, though. He will be traded off by Hwin. Quite a bit of damage dealt. Professor Chaos just going to be staying close to the statue. What a flick from him, though, as Jason R lands one with the nade. Trading back and forth. It's Odaris 1v1 versus Jason R. Odaris, can he find it? He's creeping up the rectangle. Jason R doesn't have a read on it. And that's the shot from Odaris that was required. WOOSAH will win the round.
Phenomenal opening picks coming out of them. And then as soon as they got those picks, they realized they had a little bit of time. They could have worked with it. So they threw the smokes down, took the site. But Splyce almost took that back. And I think Splyce is quite favored in this. I think they're at 80-20 on CSGO launch.
I believe
Something similar
so.
to that, at least. But WOOSAH, even though they win the round, they have to play against Splyce, who has full utility, and they have full guns as well. Davey deciding to go with the Mag 7. But look at the guns. Even though WOOSAH won, they still only have 2 Tech 9s, and a Galil, an AK, and then that op from Odaris. But Professor Chaos, he's going to be opping towards B. But again, we see this nice slow default. This is the structure that we were talking about. Get the structure, make sure no one's pushing, and then you can do your executes.
So EA slowly moving up towards Broken Wall here. Holding on to the angle that Davey's been working from. This time around, though, Davey inside of drop down. And yeah, this 4-man setup towards B. 2 at drop, 2 towards the Broken Wall itself with Professor Chaos taking that op roll at the statue. And yeah, what a shot from him. I actually forgot just up until this moment. Hit a nutty 180 while scoped in, I think, as well. Under one of the WOOSAH players. Right? Making it work, but WOOSAH, how... Well, we'll see how this works out and how predictable it really is. Again, they're entering into a lot of CT players, but 2 for 2, not the end of the world. We'll have Abe, sorry, Davey with the assist. Abe taking down Check. Jacob getting the bomb set. Odaris just going to play the Broken Wall. And Jacob taking a lot of damage. I don't think he's recognized from where yet, finally. He spots out Jason R, but Odaris, he was good in the last round, 1-on-1. Can he get it done here? They've got to expect that he's going to be playing the Broken Wall with the AWP. Spots out a bit of Abe, but he's going to whip that first shot. They're putting a lot of bullets in his direction, and on the repeat, they will be able to find the frag. So Splyce taking their 5th round, and again, it's not going to bode well for WOOSAH if they continue to take a single round and drop the one thereafter.
Luckily, they did get the bomb plant down, so they're going to get a little bit of cash. So... they're going to get $800 extra on top of that $1,400 for losing the round, but like you said, you can't just keep winning rounds and then losing them. Even if you do get the bomb plant, you're not going to have a whole lot of money. But with $3,500, 33, 22, I don't think they'll buy here. Even if they buy Tech 9s possibly, maybe some Galils, even if they do that, I don't think it'll be advantageous or even worth the risk of winning the round and then forcing Splyce on their eco. Are you going to get aggressive with his op towards long?
Sorry, we'll post up here. How aggressive does he decide to get? And how wise to the situation? Is WOOSAH going to be watching the flank here? Odaris spots out Arya, but Arya swift on the shot. Able to take him down, and to be fair, Odaris with only a pistol probably was dead anyhow. But Davey getting aggressive. Broken Wall here. He's going to right-click a flash into a smoke. Doesn't push it. He's actually going to fall off. And Abe just bodies raining in on him towards the drop down, and that's the power in numbers. As we can see, pick up some weaponry heading through connector. You got Davey coming up from behind. So he could be the key element. Bring Splyce right back into this. But to be fair, Splyce is at a heavy advantage. Didn't recognize the bomb has been brought down on the A side of middle, so things going to be very difficult. Yay, hopping through. Yeah, it's not going to work out so well. And Check was in the back of the bomb. Did Check really honestly think that Ye was going to go down there all by his lonesome, get the bomb, and come back to site safely? Help me out with that, Hano. Because he just stayed on the bomb. Check's like, okay, I'll stay here. You go on that long trek and let me know how it goes.
I'll be a sneaky ninja and get it a 3K somehow.
Yeah, so not a good look there on that round. But to be fair, it was an eco, and they did get 2 frags out of it. I guess you can't complain too much.
2 rounds for WOOSAH. This is going to be rough for them. They need to pick up a lot more rounds, and the only strat that we've actually seen out of them is the B smoke. The smoke strat that they have. They haven't really done anything towards A. I mean, they had the default where they picked up the first gun round, or sorry, not the first gun, or the 3rd round they bought guns first. Other than that, they haven't had a whole lot of success. It came down to a couple 2v2s and 1v1s, but they haven't been able to pick up those clutch rounds yet.
Abe gets aggressive. He's posted up inside of the drop down. Check. Nice work by him. For one, he pre-fires where they would boost and just have their head shown, and then he gets up onto the ledge to the left and actually just kind of pre-aims and pre-fires that boost spot near to the right. And again, he's able to take down Abe. Arya fell as well to win towards A. And Jason R, he will pick up AWP here. We'll see. He's not necessarily known for that weapon, but see if he can make it work. Davey playing the Broken Wall. He's going to be flashed in a way that he's probably calling. There could be coming out Broken Wall, but indeed we can see back towards A. Jason R's got to come up big, and he'll whiff the first shot. not looking good. And the way they peek him in middle, giving him the shimmy. And, well, not able to deal with that as Professor Chaos looking to chime in. He's made it towards the crawl space. Jason R will drop the bomb carrier. Professor Chaos onto Odaris. And Hwin kills his teammate while they're fragging onto Jason R. Well, that creates a 2-on-2. 30 seconds remaining. Davey and Professor Chaos. Can they make it work? Gotta find close range angle. At least Davey does. Professor Chaos has got no problems here. Hwin falls to Davey in the mag. And Splyce, they're able to bring that round back.
How?
I don't know.
3v5 situation where Splyce doesn't even get aggressive. And
if the team kill doesn't come in, I feel like it's a bit of a different scenario, but I don't remember how much hit points that player had. He was definitely headshot in that team kill, so...
Yeah, I guess that really turned the tables, because, I mean, even with Jason R sitting behind APC, they knew he was there. He missed, what, 4 op shots before he finally connected? Nothing against him. I mean, he got the kill. It's what he needed to do, but in a 3v5 situation, typically as a T-side team, you're just going to group up and trade to the point where you actually win the round. But a 3v5 turns into CTs winning with 2 players left alive. I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, interesting stuff. As WOOSAH move into this next round, the pattern has been broken. Hey, no. It was 2 rounds for Splyce, 1 round for WOOSAH. 2 rounds for Splyce, 1 round for WOOSAH. We finally have 3 in a row for Splyce. All the patterns as looks like WOOSAH going to try and book it out towards Broken Wall. Ooh, they get heavily separated, and this is going to be great news for Davey. As he kind of peppered them with a little bit of nade damage already. Jacob trying to find the head of Davey as he hops up towards the Broken Wall, but it'll be Jason R on the flank. 5 players left up. Splyce. Very impressive round from them. WOOSAH, not so much.
I feel like this 8-2 isn't really telling the story of how this match has gone. I mean, these rounds have just been so close that this could honestly be in favor of WOOSAH if they win the 1v1 or the 2v1 for Odaris, and then obviously the 5v3 scenario. So they've just been Splyce squeaking by on these rounds and winning them. And then on the ecos, they've just been winning pretty dominant with plenty of players left alive. It just goes to show you how important money can really be.
Arya looking for the mid pick, and he does take down Odaris. Excellent work there. Odaris did have an op in hand, so not a good look from him at the moment. To be fair, he's up there. He's actually top fragging, but need to be hitting those shots as Arya, I think, was slow peeking towards middle as well, but nonetheless, Hwin will pick up the AWP. He does spot Jason R, but he whiffs the shot. And Abe onto Jacob. Will be traded off, check. Towards drop down, but 4-on-3. What does WOOSAH work off of here?
I'm really surprised that Odaris hasn't actually got more aggressive on B platform, instead kind of working things. We saw a lot of teams that their best aimers will actually go towards B platform, but look at Ye. He's going to come up, and Davey, are you going to mag 7 him?
Oh boy.
Is this really going to happen?
The shimmy, he spots the shoulder of Ye, but there's 2 targets. I don't think he expected 2, and he kind of shot between them, but that nade just sent Check down to 11 hit points. Wow, and a second one to follow it up. And a Molotov to potentially put Ye out of this position, but no, he'll drop a smoke. Ye does have a Molotov as well. See if that comes into play, but Arya takes down Ye on the first peek. Hwin legs Professor Chaos, but fully white screen and can't get out of harm's way. So Splyce with yet another round here, and WOOSAH, they're looking a little tentative.
I'd like the peek from Ye in sight, actually, so even when they get the bomb down into 3v2, they know that he's there, even though he peeked into an opera. I think that was the correct choice, because if he lands that shot, then he can dance around the pole with his teammate playing towards platform or sidewalk, rather, and turn that 2v2 a little bit more advantageous towards, or a little bit more of an advantage towards their end. There's going to be a tactical, I assume? Who paused this?
That's what Check is saying, yep. So think about how they can take what they've seen thus far and I guess try and adapt to it. But I'm wondering what weakness that is. I guess there was one round where they just sent multiple players, just bodies into drop down, and they were able to overwhelm Abe. But some of the time we're seeing Splyce throw another member in there. So
it's really a confusing place to hold. I mean, drop down is just one of those unique spots on almost all maps. I mean, there's not really another spot like drop on, say, like Inferno or Train or anything. And Cobble's the only place to have that weird scenario where people can just kind of rain down and overwhelm you, and if you don't have the players watching it, and how do you even combat that too? If they have a nice flash, I mean, you can sit somebody outside a window, you can sit somebody outside of drop as well, and just throw mollies in there, but definitely harder to hold if you don't have a lot of structure for your team.
And I feel like maybe the reason why some T-side teams won't utilize it is a bit of it's a move that you're kind of putting it in your opponent's hands on, can you deal with this or not? And some of the time that's a good thing, but when you're behind and you're thinking highly of your opponents, well, it's a situation where, one, especially if you get shut down once, it can just go, yeah, all your confidence out the window. But yeah, you're hoping, you're midair, you're just hoping that your feet hit the floor and then you can find a frag, right? But it kind of comes down to the CT side mucking up.
Like I was saying though, like you don't even have to. You can hit shots midair. Like if you just
I
walk
suppose,
off
yeah, if
the
you're
platform,
dropping, if you don't jump and such, yeah.
Yeah, like that stupid little bug tactic thing, but it works. I mean, you can fly and AK people, but in that process, the CTs have their rifles right at you. So, but Davey's playing Broken Wall really well, and then Abe obviously over there towards drop is doing pretty good too. But Davey, I don't know, I'm really surprised with him. Like he just uses his nades correctly, and even if they come out, then Professor Chaos is just waiting with an op. And I want to see Odaris actually get a little bit more aggressive on this platform and work things a little bit more.
Arya will fall. Abe taking down one. Decent pop flash, but it actually doesn't affect Ye. So another frag coming in. Davey on the broken wall. Professor Chaos. Was that one shot, 2 frags?
That was.
Quinn and Odaris falling to the same bullet, and the triple kill coming from Professor Chaos. Excellent marksmanship from him, and double digits to Splyce on the CT side. WOOSAH still, they found a little bit, but a little bit wasn't enough.
It's almost like those rounds where you almost get it, and then Davey just plays like really random, sitting in the cubby, and he shoots you in the back where you're like, okay, this strat's gonna work, and you almost get it to the point where like, yeah, it's actually gonna work, and then you get shot in the back by Davey. So Davey, nice little play there. Decides to get aggressive and change things up, and Arya getting aggressive amid once again. Odaris with a scout though. Who's gonna win this battle?
See here, check. Yeah, check is rocking a sawed off. He's using the Kraken. At least he's got a pretty one, right? But a little bit of action towards middle here. Arya gets caught as he was dropping an incendiary. Jason R does find win, but this is huge. Jacob has already sprinted up middle. And he's just going to hang on to this positioning towards door. Jason R with another one.
Oh,
Jacob!
No.
Oh, man. The whole reason you're standing there is for that kind of peek, and he just gets immediately dealt with. To be fair, nice shot by, I believe that was Abe just flying through the window, or through the door, but check. That's going to be around.
It's one of those things where, like, you expect this CT to peek you, like, shoulder peek you, or, like, stop and stop moving because he's going to peek down mid, but you're in such a random spot to begin with that he doesn't expect you. So he's going to fly out like 9 feet to the left, and you're like, why didn't you peek me correctly? And then he runs by and shoots you in the head. But as far as like aim duels go, we saw WOOSAH play against Leader 1, and they were winning these aim duels, and they actually won rounds off of it. But there's only been one strat from WOOSAH so far, and said that, like I said in the very beginning, like 4 or 5 rounds into it, the only strat that we've seen is that B wall smoke strat, and that's it. But if you're not going to get picks, and look at Arya picking up the auto snapper.
Right. Try and snap off some heads. If I'm gonna continue that as Davey.
Ooh, that was lame.
Right,
that was so lame, Chad.
Yeah, thanks. I know.
I had to get you. Got me.
Jacob and Ye fall. I understand. It's perfectly acceptable. Quinn, he's gonna have fear in his eyes after hearing Arya just spam in the middle like crazy. But check does take down Davey. I think that's the first time in a while they've been able to drop him and take out here. But check. Oh, all alone now, and Arya just takes him down from the drop room. That box is definitely spammable with said auto sniper. So, Quinn finds himself all alone, and things are looking fairly bleak. Drops a flash into Abe's face as he finds the frag, but, well, other than getting a fully wide screen, that's about it.
Do you know how long Odaris and Yay? Yeah,
I know it's difficult.
Yeah, it is, because I'm just like, yeah.
It's like so many A's, you just want to pronounce it differently.
So
Oh
I
boy.
guess the reason I'm asking is because they don't seem like they have a lot of structure, and that might be because they're a newer team, and that might explain why they have a lot of players who can aim really well. But let me stop myself, as they are going to push towards long, and then they get stopped themselves. So anyway, like I was saying, is it the if these guys are really good at aiming, and then they play against a team like Splyce, who not only knows how to aim but also stop other puggers?
Oh, what a lineup, as Jason R probably wanted more than that. To be fair, he drops Sodaris to 2 hit points as well as kills Hwin. And Abe taking one down with the pistol towards drop. And they gotta fear that auto snipper towards the bank truck. Abe. I didn't actually even realize. What is the equipment right now? Hey, no, we've got 3 scarred 20s in this round. They just decided to go full troll mode in this round, and I did not notice one bit. Wow, I feel really goofy right now. But
full COD.
I'm just gonna use the excuse. I was listening to your excellent analysis, Hayne. I was just so wrapped in it. I was checking.
Oh man, you close your eyes and just dream and just like, oh, I see
exactly.
it. I can see that.
It's a wonderful world. But check alone. Just here's auto. It's War of the Worlds here. Here's all these autos everywhere. Professor Chaos gets it done with the pistol, and that's going to be half. 13-2. Not a good look for WOOSAH. To be fair, I expected Splyce to take their map choice. Like, if I see WOOSAH taking the series, it's probably going to be in 2-1 fashion after, again, this goes the way of Splyce. But that's a lot more dominant than I thought Splyce was going to be able to get away with.
I agree, and I think that we saw a little bit of light in the very beginning with some of the rounds we thought were close. I mean, I feel like I'm being repetitive, but there were some rounds that were close. There was a 2v1 and a 1v1, and if they would have won that, maybe it would be like a 9-7 half instead. And by 9-7, I mean 9-6, because math is hard in 15. But now it's 13-2. So because they had so much money, it's hard to stop a CT team with this much utility. If you look at these maps, like we'll take Infernal for example, and same thing with Cobble, is that when CTs rack up so much money that they can just buy Molotovs and smokes every single round, that's going to limit you as a T-side team to do anything.
Moving into the pistol round, Davey, the raid boss, as well as Abe. So we've got Tech 9s in armor. We're going to see the smokes on Arya and Professor Chaos already taking a battle towards middle, and Odaris falls. And he was the only A-side player. You can see how this affects the rotation already. Check coming on over, Twin seeing if he needs a hand. And in the midst of it, Davey takes down one towards drop. He will fall to check. But left with 9 hit points. Not a good situation, and he will be finished off. So, how do they make this work? Jacob, if he could get something done in connector, may have been their way back into the round, but Professor Chaos on to win, and that's going to be that. Splyce taking a pistol round, and that should be map here.
Connector's such a hard spot to hold, especially drop to connector, because if you look at all the different angles that you see in there, they're all close quarters. So if T's just go in there with Glocks, it seems like they've cut the advantage of the USP down. Because, I mean, USP is just pretty much headshot only, right? Like, if you're playing against a Glock, you have to hit headshots. And people just, the terrain, and if you look at the terrain, you look at the scenario for connector, it's all up and down, and it's hard to hit those headshots. So definitely an advantage for Glocks, and it's definitely a good place to go on your pistol rounds.
And the drop down play, Davey gets one sailing on in, check finds. I don't know how you hit a headshot there when you're seeing, like, you're looking up their player model, but he gets it done anyhow. So, impressive stuff in that regard. But there's last one up, gets Abe midair. Arya taken to the skies as well. We'll be able to take him down. What a goofy round.
Yeah, I don't know. I never understood that either. It's like you're looking like up the dude's butthole and you shoot him and it just like kills him, and I'm like, oh, okay, thanks CS:GO. I mean,
I guess to be fair, it's a bullet, right? If you are going to shoot from underneath
his body,
it should go all the way up, right?
No, they're gonna add it. Don't do this, Valve. It's gonna add like spinal shot, like through the whole body shot. Like, I don't know. It's just silly. Something. Thanks, Chad. Something like that.
And we get more goofiness. 4 Mac 10s. All right. I feel like Davey called this strat. He's just a big fan of that Mac 10, so it would not surprise me. And, well, it's kind of going their way. We'll be a 3-on-3. Players from behind. Jacob gets caught out. Odaris sneaking around, but Arya right beside him as he frags his teammate, and that should be the round here is Yay. Unless he can hit a nutty headshot. He's got 3 hit points, and Arya with the kind of weapon with high rate of fire like that,
you just gotta tickle him with it, right? And I don't really like this spot from yeah too. It's just like yeah, keep doing it, yeah. But with that spot, I mean, he does a lot of damage to him, which I'm surprised. And typically, if you're gonna play a spot like he needs to find, it's gonna be a headshot. You need to find one of those
goes
headshot
back
angles.
to the same spot. Mind games here, but he only needs the one bullet.
4 HP.
Ari with 4 HP. Oh, man.
Abe, 27 frags. Definitely a solid match from him.
Yeah, leading the charge there. So that's going to be map number 1, folks. A little bit lopsided, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of it, but it is what it is. Again, like I was kind of painting a picture of, if there is going to be an upset, I feel like it's going to be the next 2 maps. We'll see how it goes. Cash is going to be coming up next, and that is WOOSAH's map choice. So taking a short break here, but when we return, it'll be map number 2.